Ladies and gentlemen, would you please make welcome David D. with the Elvis Tribute.
See here, see right up. Oh, see here, what you have done. Well, I said, see right up. Oh, see here, what you have done. Now, girl, you made me love you, but now you love when it's gone. Hear what I said? Well, I'm going away, baby. Lord, I won't be back till fall. Well, I'm going away, baby. Lord, I won't be back till fall. If I find me a good girl, I won't be back at all. Hear what I say, baby? Yo. Lord, I won't be back till fall. If I find me a good girl, I won't be back at all. Hear what I say? Well, I said, see she right up. Oh, see what you have done. Well, I said, see she right up. Lord, see what you have done. Well, girl, you made me love you. Now, you love him and it's gone. Hear what I say? Well, I say, see.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is yet another episode of Rogan Radio here in the friendly confines of Studio A in the luxurious
Casa Le Rogan Lumberport.
Yeah. We had it. What was funny, let me tell you something. It's been so long since I've actually had to work a computer to get it live over there that, because Darren's not here tonight, we have over the lovely and talented Michelle instead. There she is.
I think you might be a little biased.
Yeah, that's true. But anyway, it's been so long. It's been so long since I've actually started the computer. I started it. I didn't hit all the right buttons, so it came on with no sound, and then all of a sudden it went off again, and Cuddles was in the other room and said the broadcast was interrupted, and I was like, oh my God, here we go again. It's been so long. Anyway, we have a lot of stuff to talk about tonight.
Really? Because earlier you said we didn't have anything to talk about. This is going to be the worst show ever.
The live stuff.
Yeah, the live stuff. Listen, we can just fly on the live stuff like that. That's just how we roll with that.
Right.
And I'm also I'm kind of almost shaken, and I think I'm almost shaken. I think it's because I don't have enough sugar in my system from last night at the Duggar dance.
Well,
no, I'm good.
Okay. We just want to make sure everything's fine. Anyway, let me tell you something.
Miss Michelle got a lot of sugar.
Let me tell you something.
Did you, Miss Michelle?
We have a lot of great things to talk about tonight. Tonight, we're going to talk about a big event that happened last night concerning Michelle, right?
Let's get it on.
Yeah.
And some guy that was at the dance.
Get it on.
We're going to talk about the fact that the last time we talked to Erica, she was getting ready to turn 15, and now she is 15, and we're going to go through this whole driver's permit thing, and we're going to, you guys have been through this with the with your kids, and all of a sudden the scariness that is.
It's terrifying. Michelle's been through it a couple of times. Or no, once, right?
Yeah, once.
With your oldest.
Once is enough.
Twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, here you go again,
There I
sister.
go.
And we have some really, Derek, you have some inside information.
Call you back,
Hey, we'll call you
Todd
back.
Hall, it has to be that way. Love you, Todd Hall. We're going to call him back because last night Todd Hall was at the Duggar dance, and one thing that I forgot was to bring him Old Duels. Todd cannot drink alcohol anymore. And he came in and he goes, "Where's my Old Duels?" I was like, "Oh." I was like, "Listen, Todd, I've got a lot on my plate." I totally forgot that. Totally forgot. So anyway, somebody who went to go get the Old Duels. Anybody remember?
I made
Mike
a phone
used-
call. I made a phone call. when that happened.
D-Mac
Yeah.
made the phone call?
You had a lot on your plate. That's odd.
I know.
So
I know.
nice of you, Derek.
My wife said that D-Mac had some moves last night.
Well, we're going to talk.
She said
Let's-
that. She said D-Mac had some moves.
Listen,
I don't know why
something.
she was looking at you.
I think Todd Hall
But
secretly
yeah.
appeared in every picture we got.
He was like the photo bomber.
Now, listen, Derek, you
Yeah.
also have maybe give us some insight when we're going to talk about here very shortly about the big water problems in Shinston. And there are absolutely big water problems right now in Shinston.
Hey, they are. They actually close school tomorrow.
Yeah, well,
Lincoln
they're-
anyhow.
Listen, I mean, there's
Yeah,
a lot
you
of
love
parts.
that.
There's a lot of parts in the area that don't have water right now. And they were talking. I saw on the news. I think it was DTV talking about there might be some parts of West Side, East Side getting they might shut down just because of this. Actually, you want to just get to that right now because
Yeah, we can do it.
That's the whole thing is we've had a lot of rain. Oh, by the way, hello, Pat.
Hello.
Pat's here. Pat has a new podcast. Actually, how long have you been doing your podcast now?
About 2.5 years.
Two. Okay, 2 years. Oh, it's
Roughly.
not new then. Okay.
No, it's new to you.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to go ahead and talk about that, and that's going to be pretty cool. But we'll do that in a minute.
Okay.
Okay. Pat helped us with the Christmas video we did last year. That's where I think that's where we first met down at the firehouse.
It was. And then we
Yeah.
did the Duggar dance.
And then we did the Duggar dance.
We need to talk about that.
Yeah.
And Derek's mad moves.
Oh,
Yeah,
man, that was
mad
bad,
moves.
dude.
They were
Yeah.
on point.
So what happened was with all the rain and
Except
things, to
bleach.
my understanding, with the news report that I saw, there was a tree or something that fell and kind of broke or something happened to where there was some slippage or something. But anyway, a 10-inch line blew of the main water feed, right?
Slippage,
Right.
10-inch.
Hard to imagine, right?
Are we still talking
That's
about
what
the
I got
Duggar
out
dance?
of
Or this is the after dance? Or what?
So basically what has happened, there is a 10-inch feeder line that feeds from the Mainland Chapel water plant that feeds all of Shinston, right? And it comes across the hill. Well, there's an intersection like where it crosses the Binghamton Creek, and it's elevated up on these old piers. It has steel that holds the water pipe in place. That collapsed sometime Friday night. So when that happened, of course, part of the pipe disappeared. Boom, you lose a bunch of water.
Yeah.
And then you had all of Enterprise at that point was out of water. Binghamton, Enterprise, you name it, it was gone.
And you know what? The bad thing about it, at 2:30 in the morning, if it would be one thing if it was 1:30 in the morning or 1:30 in the afternoon, people would notice it a lot better. Say 2:30, by the time anybody even noticed there was a break, I'm sure it pretty much emptied everything.
Yeah, well,
You get up for work and you go to, I guess, turn the water.
Like,
yeah.
it's like all I need is a hot shower to get this hangover out of my head. And you're like, oh no!
I wonder how many gallons of
Cold
water. How many gallons of water was lost because, at 2:30 in the morning, like you said, there's nobody knows that stuff is leaking because nobody's up.
Yeah, I think the first reports came in maybe around 5:30 in the morning. I know I got a phone call at 6:55, and they were well aware of it, and they actually knew where it happened and everything. So that's the good part. The bad part is, they had to make some adjustments. So the engineers had to get involved because it's not something where you can just go in and say, hey, I have a 30-foot section of 10-inch pipe. Let's just put the ends together.
Yeah.
So they got the engineers involved and the city public works, and they had a consultant, Perry Del Rio, who used to work for the city, comes in and does gives them some pointers and some ideas that he may have had. And they were able to slowly restore service to other people by isolating that problem and letting the water backfeed from town. So they did that. Then, sometime overnight, last night, they had another failure. So, and all because of this. I mean, it's all the same result. So, boom. Now they have the water tanks that have storage, so like on the right in the middle of town, up on top of the hill, over on West Side, East Shinston, Owings, Gypsy Hill. All those water tanks were only at 6 foot. They only had 6 feet of water in them. The green zone, as they called it, what's important, it needs to be at least 15. So it's a pretty big deal.
Below half.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they are doing the repair, but it's not something that's goes very quickly. So they anticipate getting that done if everything goes right by the end of the day Tuesday. Of course, and the fire department's doing a bunch of updates with that, and I'm sharing them on my Facebook page, and so once we get more information, we'll go along with it. But the area schools are closed, and Enterprise doesn't have water. Binghamton Public Service District, who gets their water from Shinston, now they may. Mm-hmm. They may have water for a while, but you need to be prepared. You need to have 3 days of water on standby just in case.
And something else, just don't be aware. You just don't want to go washing 15 loads of laundry right now.
Right. That's why I don't have my Rogan Radio shirt on tonight.
Because it's laundry day, and you thought, well, maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not. Let's not do that. So,
I think there was even something in Lumberport they were saying to try to conserve water.
Well, I mean, you never know. I mean, the whole thing is if Lumberport has to help Shinston out, just because we have it right now, you never know.
Yeah, and it's important to know that there is a contingency plan for emergencies like this, and they are taking water from Clarksburg. There's a valve on Saltwell Road that they can open up and buy water from Clarksburg, and they're doing that. But it's only a 6-inch line trying to feed everybody, and unless we conserve water, that's not going to work.
Right.
Yeah, so everybody can put their effort just to make this.
Right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Well, that's wild.
Hey,
man.
listen, these tanks, you're talking about these tanks that have it should be like around 15 feet, but they were only like around 6. These are just holding tanks?
Yeah, those are the storage tanks that you see. They say Shinston on them. Like the ones on Manly Chapel were 1 million gallons apiece.
Are those, are they fed by, how are they filled?
It's all a gravity system.
That's what I'm thinking. But now, so they actually pump water into these, or is it?
Yeah. From the water treatment plant, they pump the water into those 2 tanks you see on Manly Chapel Road,
right.
And then it's all gravity fed.
Okay.
And then so the water goes both ways, and there's check valves and everything that you move through to prevent backflow and everything. So, but the water goes both ways. So as you're using the water, obviously it'll go up and down. And plus the power plant pulled last night in the middle of the night.
Wow.
So that didn't help.
Yeah. Now
what
that actually means is the power plant. All the steam that you see coming out of that thing. They have the coal to heat up the water to cause the steam to turn the.
But where does the power plant? They don't get there. It's not fresh water they're feeding.
They have both.
Water.
They have both.
They have both. They have a city supplied water system for when they can't pull out of the West Fork.
Okay, I thought they got most of their water from.
Yeah, raw
the
water.
West Fork, right?
Mm-hmm. Most of it. But they do pull at times, especially at nighttime. They will pull in the tanks, the dual tanks that are on Gypsy Hill. Those are 500,000 gallon water tanks, and they'll put a dent in it. You can see.
You better believe it. Yeah, my goodness.
So,
now here's the thing. We were driving to Fairmont the other day. Now, I've never understood this, and maybe now I can get it explained to me.
Okay.
Who's we?
Now, what is the treatment plant downtown Shinston on the West Fork?
That's sewage.
That's for sewer.
Right.
Okay, and then the one out on Manly Chapel is for
water treatment. That's your drinking water.
Okay, which has always kind of surprised me is that you're almost in Fairmont.
Yeah.
And then, but Shinston's water treatment plant, because Shinston Shinston's a lot bigger than what people think. I mean, now the town might not, but the territory itself, I mean, I think
huge.
I've heard it goes all the way out to Saltwell.
It does. It goes past Nixon Hall.
All the way to 79, I should say.
Yeah, it goes, and then you have Boozeville, because they feed like Tri-County water.
Right.
They buy water. They're a reseller. They buy water from Shinston. So you have all that area out there. You have like Manly Chapel side. You have Hutchison, Enterprise, out towards. Well, then you have Binghamton District, PSD. So it's kind of neat how that works. But Shinston ultimately is a reseller for that. Worthington.
No, is that why the treatment plant is out there on Manly Chapel where it is to kind of evenly distribute all this water?
Well, no, it's there because it pulls from the Tigert River, right below.
Oh, that's where they're getting their water from out there.
So their freshwater intake is right below Woods Boathouse, and then they have raw water pumps that pump them all the way.
Had no idea.
Across. Yeah, it's pretty neat. It's very, and a lot of people think, oh, well, it's not that big of a deal. It's a very big deal. And Shinston has a really good water system. That's the thing. I mean, if you remember, I don't know, you may not, but a couple of years ago, Fairmont had trouble with their filtration in their water plant, and they had to shut down completely. And Shinston not only supplied Shinston, but we also supplied Fairmont.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
That's wild, isn't it? That's crazy. But hopefully everything will be back online Tuesday, if not Wednesday. But until then, be very kind of...
and a boil water advisory as well. So, you definitely want to keep that in.
See, at the Beck House, we shower...
your privates with wipies, so you don't...
And we shower in natural Deer Park spring water at the Beck House.
Well,
so we don't.
do.
City water. We don't even use city
I don't
water.
think I've ever seen the West Fork, especially down by the VA, not look like chocolate milk.
Yes, and it's high right now.
Gross.
I know the reason for that, too.
Okay, why is it always dirty?
Because it has a silt bottom versus a rock bottom like the Tigert. So that obviously makes it look muddy, especially when it rains and you get a lot of
Yeah.
rain.
You're smart.
I tell
He
you
is
what.
smart. He's a
Why don't
wealth
you- why
of
don't-
knowledge.
Everything.
I'm
What
thinking-
are you sitting here for?
Listen,
I
I think
don't
he
know.
should run for like House of Delegates or something. What's wrong with you? What do you hear?
I'll vote for you, Derek. Yeah.
That was funny last night at the Duggar dance.
Dude,
Derek was out there. I think we were dancing the House of Pain or something like that. But
Yeah.
we were getting it down. We were knocking it out with our. We were just knocking it out.
Oh, yeah, man.
And Todd comes out of nowhere and he goes, "Is that Derek McIntyre? Because I voted for that guy." You know what I
At
mean?
the same time, man, he's got the hips and they're gyrating back and forth. It's like, yeah, man.
But anyway, once again, we want to remind you we're going to have 2 shows tomorrow. We have a podcast and we have this thing called the Social Hour. And the reason we were so late tonight because we got a little bit late on the whole podcast thing, right? Because Chad and Todd, you went out there to give Tanya she finally got her bandana.
Finally.
You took the Reaper out there.
Yes,
Yeah, we
we did.
did.
Took
And
the
listen,
Reaper out there.
this is what's funny. Chad gets this new thing, and he screams out of this thing and throws gravel at it. I'm like, Jesus Christmas. I said, I'm going to have to clean all this shit up now.
Yeah, you're.
And
I
there's-
did it.
Yeah, you're.
yeah, and all I can hear, it had to be scary.
It was a little scary.
Yeah, it had to be.
A little chilly, too.
Freaking
I'm sure it
Ducko
was.
said everybody go to my house for a shower.
Yeah,
saw
but
that.
well, here's the problem. Jeremy has water, but he never has electricity up there.
Yeah.
You're right.
You know, every time I see the picture of him at the Casa de Duckworth up there in Grafton, it's always in the dark with candles. I'm like, what are you, Amish or something?
Like a person like me, I rely on the well water. When I didn't have electricity, I have no water either.
Yeah.
Water's there, but you can pump.
But you can't have it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tanya Ash said she's got her bandana on.
Fantastic.
Yeah, she took a picture, posted it.
Did she
Fantastic.
really? I got to go in there and check that out.
Well, the whole thing was she was supposed to have it about 2 weeks ago. But,
Yeah.
you know. And then
She
we have
understood.
to get Ryan Faber. We have to get him a decal, too.
So Anthony Morgan asked an important question there. Did you see that?
No, what was it? Oh, I see that.
That's
He wants to know about Duggar Dance. What went on last
Okay.
night.
Well, first of all, let's just go around the room real quick because we have some new faces. We always have new people watching. And once again, we're going to have 2 podcasts tomorrow, so be looking for that. And then we're going to get to what happened last night at the Duggar Dance, which was big. But anyway, sitting over in the director's seat tonight, Darren is not here. Instead, this is like your 3rd time doing this, right?
yeah.
And it's everything you
I'm a
enjoy.
little rusty tonight.
I can't hear you when you don't talk in the
Oh, I
microphone.
forgot. See, I said I'm a little
It's not
rusty
rude.
tonight.
If you don't look at him, it's not rude.
The whole thing is, everybody woke up this morning in Bridgeport. Everybody with just beat. I was beat. Now Derek said he woke up like $1 million.
$1
You
I
know.
wasn't too bad. were you?
I was fine.
Yeah, I mean, I was fine too.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, sitting over in the director's chair, straight from Webster Springs in Webster County, West Virginia, ladies and gentlemen, say hello to Michelle Hall.
She can have a lot of different titles, not just like Michelle Hall. Could be like my future
Michelle
wife
Rogan.
or
Now-
the ball
now
and
the next
chain.
guy-
We'll get to that story.
Now the next
Or-
guy, well, you know what? He is the event coordinator,
Yes,
and
he
he's a master. He is a master at this.
What events is he coordinating?
Well, last night, for example, we had this. Chad had this great plan, and I tell you what, it worked out perfectly.
Chad did great.
I'll tell you what, you couldn't have bet. We'll get to that here very shortly. But anyhow, he is the event coordinator. He is the new owner of a Reaper, which is a side-by-side that is street legal, and it goes pretty fast. I saw that.
That sounds like a scary
I'm waiting
guy
to
in
get
the
you
woods.
in there. That way I can
Oh,
make
yes.
you shart your pants all over the place.
A Reaper. It sounds like a scary guy in the woods.
Ladies and gentlemen, straight from Monongah, West Virginia, Chad Poo 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 Poo. Now, you know, as we do have a full house tonight, in the middle over there, she was on here a few weeks ago. Erica, you're finally 15 now.
Yep.
And with that comes, you have the privilege of driving.
And listen, it is a privilege.
Privilege.
It is
It's
not
a-
a right. So
Yeah.
we can clear that up
Yeah.
right now.
So are you excited to take your written test?
No.
You're not?
No.
It's not that
I haven't
hard. We've all
studied
done-
a whole lot, so
if-
probably
it-
shouldn't get through
You
now.
don't have to study. It's piece cake.
They've all failed it.
Listen, if
okay.
if we can do it, you can do it.
Yeah, that's
Well,
true. I mean, look at you
that's
over
true.
there.
I don't know about all that.
That's true. That's true. Ladies and gentlemen, straight from Shinston, West Virginia, she's getting ready, newly 15, getting ready to start driving, so watch out. Ladies and gentlemen, Erica Ferris, give her a big
That's it. Good job. Good job. I guess you got the applause there, Jim.
Now, yeah, 'cause Todd doesn't have headphones on, which is a hint, Jimmy.
Oh, no. I want an applause. I can't hear it, but I want
We
one.
talked to him earlier tonight. He is not only obviously the water system genius engineer of the show, because I don't know anything about that, but something else I didn't know about DMAC. The guy can dance like a brother from a different mother. I mean, that guy was. We were getting. Hey, listen, we had a ball last night.
Oh, there's no doubt.
We went through some pictures here that Jimmy took last night, and let me tell you something, D-Mac. We have some with you and Megan both. We have some fantastic pictures.
There really are some good pictures.
And the videos, some of it is
Awesome.
it was an absolute blast. And we want to say a very special hello while we're at it to bartender. Everybody has new titles now. As an example, Mike Usted. We're just going to call him Bartender Mike.
Oh, yeah.
Because Mike would go back to the room. He and Mark would go back with the room key, and he would come back, and he was like a bar on two legs.
Yeah.
I mean, I would go up to him and like say either Paula and Brian were there last night, or say Gloria, and I say, hey, what do you want to drink? Just like, how about a Michelob Ultra? Gloria would say, as an example. I'd go up to Bartender Mike and say, hey, Mike, I'd like to have a Michelob Ultra. He goes, can or a bottle?
Yeah.
And if I'd say the bottle, he goes, well, I'm all out. Here's a can. He pulled a can out of his pants, and boom, right over my hand. I'd walk over to Michelle and say, listen, you don't have anything to drink. What would you like? You know I would drink Miller Lite. Can or a bottle? How about a bottle? Go over. Bartender Mike, need a bottle of Miller Lite. Boom, out of his pants, swoops, bang, in his hand. He did that all night. It was fantastic.
And Jimmy said, hey, Mike, hey, listen, I like a Peter. He said, okay, and he pulled one out of his pants. Jimmy said, hey, thanks.
Wonder where he hid all that stuff.
Gee whiz, that's not nice. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, straight from Shenstown, West Virginia, the Boogie Shoes man himself.
Boogie.
We like to call him D-Mac, Derek McIntyre.
Yeah,
Give him a
D-Mac,
big round of
yeah.
applause.
Yeah, there's an applause, I'm sure.
All right.
Oh, by the way, Eric Ducko did say that Chuck has 4 cars in case you need one when you get
Thanks,
back.
Ducko.
I got my eye on one.
Yeah, the witch.
Way to
You want
go.
the
My
witch.
eye on the yellow one.
Way
in
to go.
there.
And, oh, yeah, we can't
You don't
forget.
drive that junk.
And we can't forget Uber Ben. Uber Ben took us over to Denny's. What time was that?
About
2:30.
Well, that's when we got home. About 12:30.
So Uber Ben took us
Don't
over.
ask me.
It was great because we're sitting over there helping Duggar take all the stuff out of the show, right? And then Chad and you guys already had split over. Did you walk over there?
No, actually, Carol drove the truck.
Okay, that's very good. So then we're helping Duggar come out, and we're like, how are we going to get down there? And I said, let's walk. It's like, I'm a mailman. Used to be. So let's just walk all the way down to Denny's from Best Western because I'm half shit-faced anyway. And then all of a sudden, Kathy, I think it was Kathy, said, no, Uber Ben's coming. Uber Ben's coming. So Uber Ben pulls up, and which was a really nice vehicle, by the way.
Yeah.
Was that Explorer or something like
From
that?
Freedom Ford.
From Freedom Ford up in Morgantown. Listen, if you want to talk anything vehicles, talk to Mike Usted, Bartender Mike up at Freedom Ford in Morgantown. That's his plug. But so we went down there and we had we had a fantastic time. And Brucey, you kind of disappeared on us somewhere.
Well, yeah, I was drinking. Here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
Tell
Listen.
us
Here's
all.
the thing, Brucey. You disappeared a few times last night.
Yeah,
you
I
were taking
did.
my place. Normally, I'm the one that disappears.
Yes, he did.
Well, I was drinking in a secret society room.
Yeah.
I mean, I poured a whiskey in a cup instead of taking a sip. I was actually drinking it.
Oh, Brucey, that'll.
Brucey
Yeah.
was chugging
Yeah, I
it.
was chugging
Put
that.
some hair on your nuts, Bruce.
Maybe I'll grow up a little taller, maybe.
Ladies and gentlemen, straight from Tokyo, Japan, give him a big round of applause, Bruce Takahashi.
Konbanwa.
Yes. Love that Godzilla. I'm actually surprised I'm even drinking a beer, by the way. And we're going to get to Mike Vincent here in a minute. He's down in North Carolina. He sent us up. Listen, if it wasn't for the fact that we have hangovers, and listen, we all do. I'm pretty safe in saying
Jimmy,
that.
do you have a hangover?
Actually, no.
No, I don't have a
You guys
hangover.
don't?
I didn't.
No.
I didn't get one.
I'm golden.
Why do we?
Oh, I was rough.
That's what happens when you leave.
I don't know what you guys were doing afterward. Maybe that's what.
Yeah.
a difference.
Well, we went back to Mark Coffey's room, and the only thing I can remember is eating a couple peaches. I think Kathy and I both had a peach, and it was like, oh man, this is a mistake. But and then who else? Because who was it?
Cat.
No. Who spit it? Who did we? Who
spit one out?
It was Mike and I. Bartender Mike and I. We ate a peach.
Mike and Ike's.
Yeah, Mike and I. We ate a peach, and it was, listen, it's like rubbing alcohol. I mean, it was just because I was drinking beer all night, and all of a
Soaked
sudden
in
I get this
white
moonshine.
lightning,
And that was some
couldn't do it.
stronger stuff.
It was
last
strong.
night.
It was strong last night. So anyway, we had to spit it out. And then Kathy goes in there and she just takes that thing and puts it right. She deep throats that thing and boom, it was gone. And let me tell you something. It was brutal how she did it. Anyway, though, you had a good time last night, Jimmy Whiz.
Sure.
We were
Did
dancing
all the
around.
recording.
And you know what? Thank goodness, because we have some great video that you caught last night, and
Yeah.
just some great
Jimmy.
pictures and things like that.
Oh,
But
yeah.
anyway, he
At least
is
you can actually know what happened now.
you know what? It's always like that, because when we were walking down the hall going into the Duggar dance, it was great because Jimmy was like, "You remember right here in this hallway is where that guy almost died last time?" And I was like, "Yeah," but I think it was back there a little bit. we were at last Duggar dance. We were walking down the hallway, and some dude, he had to be about, 75, 80 years old.
yeah.
We're walking down the hallway. This guy just falls.
He does.
Listen,
right in front of all of us. He just falls right down.
Now, Jimmy goes into safety captain, mode, and he goes and helps this guy and pulls him into his room, and he's helping him all out. Todd and I are thinking, what the hell just happened here? Is this
we're looking at each other, but Jimmy's
they're still looking like.
I was like, pull out the camera because I think somebody just died in front of us. I mean, you ever seen like a bird fly and just drop out of the air? And it's like, wow, I've never seen this before.
Yeah, Jimmy was like one of them lifeguards on Baywatch. He's like,
it was like in slow motion.
Just like David Hasselhoff.
Just like David Hasselhoff.
And he gets up to that guy and he goes, "Oh, are you okay, sir?" But anyway, so you had a good time last night. We always have a good time when we get together. But anyway, from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, he is the official photographer, soundboard operator, and also a safety captain in a local mine. Ladies and gentlemen, give a big round of applause for Jimmy Wiz. Jimmy Wiz. Yeah. Now, the next dude, we were looking at pictures last night, and you and Jimmy, you had roses, and you saw you had a lot of dancing last night, too.
Yeah, Jimmy, he proposed to me.
Yeah.
He said yes.
And I did say yes.
Actually, we have pictures of that.
And then we consummated our marriage last night.
Uh-huh.
And that was, I didn't want to go to the hangover, but my
he said he was
ass is really sore.
He said he was a virgin, but I doubt it now.
He's not a virgin. He never was. He's not a virgin.
Hey, guess who's watching?
Yes.
Guess who's
Sings that song?
Madonna.
Who sings that song?
She said,
Oh, you got
boom, Chuck.
Boom.
I think. Let me see. Which
15-year-old
one
broke you.
is Erica's microphone?
It's
right there somewhere. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, the best friend a guy could have, straight from Lumberport, West Virginia, Todd, Captain Earl Beck. Give him a big round of applause. Yeah. Yeah. See, Todd doesn't have Todd doesn't have earphones on.
Was
so
it good,
he
Chad?
they're still
definitely
screaming.
good.
They're still screaming for you. That's great. Now, Pat, you're in here for the very first time, and like I said, our history kind of goes back to around December. The first time was when we made the video from the Christmas tree lighting with the fire department downtown.
Yep.
And you had one of the cameras, which turned out fantastic, by the way. That little gimbal thing is great.
Yeah, I'm going to need to borrow that thing again.
Absolutely. Anytime you need it, you
but
can
it's
take
for
it.
a personal reason.
Oh.
We'll
Just
talk-
as long as we get a copy.
Yeah. As long as we can make money off of it. Anyway, tell us about your podcast. You had this podcast now for 2.5 years?
Yeah, it's been a slow upcoming.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the Fire Medic.
Okay.
It's just mainly like a informational, educational, fun time just to go on there. I'll share a bunch of stuff. Talk a lot about Shinston, my home fire department, which I came from, down in Kanawha County. Mm-hmm. It's a
good
thing.
time. Now, do you have an actual Facebook page?
I do.
Oh, okay. Todd, if you can find that.
I absolutely will.
I would like to listen to his podcast just to hear his voice.
Oh, yeah.
His voice is so deep. It's like,
Just go.
Luke, I am
the
fireman. Are you saying it's sexy?
Listen,
is.
we had an episode on the last podcast, and I think, and listen, I liked it so much, I think we should keep it. It was called Death with Derek.
Yeah.
And we would have this soft music behind, and we'd have Derek read somebody's obituary from around the country. And because Derek's like the same way. He could read a school menu, and you put the right music to it. Listen,
it's like Barry White.
I'm hungry and I'm turned on. It's fantastic. And Pat's the same way. He's like, you know what? Thank goodness that Michelle and I worked out our thing last night before she talked to Pat, because Pat would be like, "Hey, baby, listen."
Well, she wouldn't have remembered anyway, right, Michelle? Because when I walked up, whenever you guys got done with your podcast, I walked outside to smoke with her. And she turned around. She goes, "Hi, I'm Michelle. It's nice to meet you." And I said, I met you last night, sweetheart. And she goes, "Shut up." And I said, "Honey, I danced with you." And she goes, "Holy shit. I don't remember a damn thing of that." And I said, "Well, that's cool. That's cool."
I can't control my horny level.
Ladies and gentlemen, give a big round of applause to, what was the name of your podcast?
The Fire Medic.
The Fire Medic. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Pat in the studio also. Good deal. We're going to have you in here a lot more often, too, if you don't mind.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, cool. Now, the other guy, he was the moonshine provider last night. He also helped bartender Mike bring some contraband into the actual dance that we were having up at the Best Western. He is the majestic beard. We like to call him Cuddles, and also the groundskeeper, Mark Coffey, in the other room. Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Cuddles! Yeah, good job, Mark. Now, let's get to, we're going to keep this, we started a little bit late, and we actually have to get back to the podcast, so we're going to go ahead and Before we do that, once again, the water situation, Derek, go ahead and just give us an update on that.
As of right now, there are parts of Shinston that do not have Shinston's water systems do not have water, which would include Enterprise. Basically, from west side north, so like Brooklyn Street north, you probably don't have any water. If you do have water and you are on this Shinston water, as a Shinston water customer, you need to conserve water, and there is a boil water advisory. If you do not have water and are in need of drinking water, you can visit the Shinston Volunteer Fire Department. We have some limited water available. We also have water if you bring your own containers for like flushing toilets, etc. Or you can visit the Worthington Volunteer Fire Department, and we're going to help you out as best we possibly can, and hopefully they get this resolved Tuesday.
Let's hope so. And then once again, it is kind of raining at times, so this will be a great thing like I did last time, is that for at least flushing your toilets, you know what? You don't want to put Deer Park down your toilet. Just collect some rainwater. Throw it in there. It'll flush it. And
how about this? If it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down.
Anyway, let's talk about what happened last night. We're going to get back to the podcast. We had a very an event, Michelle, would you say?
Oh, it was...
Well, nobody can see you, so they like to see you when you talk. Why is it that anybody who sits in that chair becoes really crazy?
Because if they see me, then they're not going to see you.
That's okay.
Look, Jimmy, their first fight. Their first fight right here.
Oh, here it goes.
So,
it's all downhill now.
Yep.
It's only been a day.
She caught him. It's all downhill now.
All down.
Okay. Oh, he
important. From the governor? He got a call from the governor.
Hey, man, listen, he's got to go. That's, we have.
We need to get him on the line. Maybe we can just have him call back.
He's pretty much a big deal.
Yeah, you just tell him to call back. Say, listen, Governor, call back.
Hey, listen, we're on the
call
show.
Call back
right?
on the Rogan Radio hotline.
Listen, my mom always told me if you're going to call one person, you talk to everybody. So if he can't call the Rogan Radio hotline at 681-222-7646, next time he does, we'll hang up on him like we do Todd Hall.
Exactly.
But his name is
Justice. You should be able to handle it.
So last night, Chad, you want to set this up, actually?
Oh, Chad did great.
Okay. Everybody knows that Michelle has stars in her eyes for Chuck.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
She had all the right moves.
Where's the music?
I'm just jealous,
The
Michelle.
funny part about it is Chuck knows nothing about ring sizes.
No, nothing about ring sizes.
Preferences, nothing. Mm-mm. So how does he find out?
You.
He gets me to go ahead and take her in a jewelry store. So I pretend like I'm buying a ring for a girl.
Right.
Well, you can see the look on her face. She's not exactly happy with the situation. But I get all the information I need.
Damn, Chuck, I wish he was like you.
God, I wish Chuck would buy me a ring. A-hole.
So Michelle leaves. I send Chuck a message. I got all the info. I'll give it to you in the morning. Now, Chuck's going to have to tell you what was said later on that evening.
Okay, so anyway, so the whole thing was that I didn't know anything. I mean, Michelle and I think it's pretty safe to assume that it's pretty much we're absolutely the best match.
Peas and carrots, baby. Peas and carrots,
I think
Michelle.
that's pretty much
Peas and
obvious to
carrots.
everybody. So anyhow,
nice.
This whole thing sets up with Chad going in and finding Michelle was up at the mall, and so we stopped in, and I said, "Look, this is a perfect opportunity for you to get this information. Perfect opportunity because I can't ask her because as soon as I do, boom, it's going to set her off. Because you've already thought a couple times. You thought I was going to actually propose to you last night. That's why you had your nails done, right?
Last night?
Yeah. You thought originally,
like way back when.
Yeah, you thought. There's been a couple times that she thought it was coming.
It was done.
It was just
after this story. I knew
like
it was
a week
done.
ago.
So anyway, we're So we're talking Friday night, and she goes, "Well, I know. I was thinking maybe I told Gloria that perhaps you were going to propose to me tomorrow night, but I know you're not because you don't even know my ring size, and you haven't even been shopping for stuff
and
yet."
Chad's asking some girl to marry him.
Right. So and Chad's asking, something. He's going to ask some girl.
So Michelle's mind that this is all going down, but with Chad.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that was good.
Sly.
So anyway, Saturday morning comes around. I leave work a little bit early because I know if I get off at noon, then all of a sudden Michelle's going to be at my ass and she's going to know where I'm at. So I can't do it then, right? I have to somehow be under the guise of whatever. So I leave work early Saturday.
I'm going to be up here.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
I mean, you don't
She's
help me,
already
but
starting
I
that?
can't say, if that if I can't say I'm getting off at noon and I say, hey, listen, I'll be home
going
at
to
2
the mall.
o'clock, and be like, what are you doing? So it was a lot. You understand. Okay, so anyhow, I go and get the ring and all this stuff. So we come up with this plan on how we're going to give it away. Actually, it was Chad's idea because he had too much time to think at work. So he comes up with this great master plan.
Must be nice.
He comes up with this great
kidding.
master plan. We get up to the Best Western, and Michelle's having a good time. She's having a great time. Okay, until Chad walks in. Until Chad walks in with a cubic zirconium $35 ring in a thing that he shows Michelle and says, look what I bought. And she was like, oh, well, that's great. I mean, that looks beautiful. When are you gonna give it to her? And he goes, well, tonight. And instantly, her stomach dropped out, and she was sick to her stomach, and it upset her because she knew at that point, because Chad was going to get engaged, that I know I couldn't or we couldn't for at least 6 or 7 months, something like that, to give all this time to blow by because you don't want to screw your friends like that. Right?
Yeah, you don't want to one up them.
So she's sick. She's outside, and she's just distraught, almost to the point of wanting to cry because she knows we're not going to get engaged for a long time. Not that you were pushing me to do it or anything. Listen, people, this is 2017. Just because you're pregnant doesn't mean we have to get engaged. But we're doing it anyway, out of love.
Who's the dad?
Listen, that was an April.
You know,
Fool's
I
joke.
did go and purchase the $35 ring.
that was an April Fool's joke. There we did. So anyway, okay, Cuddles. So anyway, the time comes around, and all this time we set this thing up at the Duggar dance, and the entire time Michelle thinks it's going to be Chad and Carol the entire time.
Yes.
And at the last minute, the switch around happens, the boom, 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 and the look on her face when the video comes out. We have a video.
Yes.
And when the video comes out, and you see the shock and awe, because you explain it. Explain what you were.
The whole thing was that I was waiting for. I knew this was going to happen, and for Chad.
Right.
So I'm waiting for the whole thing. So the lights come on, and I was like, okay, here we go. We got to get ready for this.
So you're greedy.
And what do you
basically,
mean?
you're saying you're greedy because you wanted to get married, not him, right? You wanted to get engaged.
I was going to be happy. I was going to do the.
But in the back of her mind, she was like, "That could be me, but it's not." It's okay, Michelle. Continue.
Okay, go ahead. We don't have all night. It's already
so the lights come on, and the DJ says that he needs all the Rogan Radio women to come and sit in the chairs that were placed somehow, miraculously and magically, without anybody seeing, on the dance floor. So we all go up and we take a seat on the dance floor. So it's on, babe.
Yeah, I want you talking to the camera. You're talking to
us.
us.
I'm talking to you. Sorry. So we all take our seats in the chairs, and each husband or boyfriend of the respective Rogan Radio woman gets a rose. They go up and give them all a rose. So I noticed that Chuck's holding my rose, but I haven't got it. I said, I'm the only one sitting up here without a rose.
Yeah.
What a jerk.
Yeah, jerk.
So finally he brings me my rose, and I'm waiting on Chad to get up and start his. Well, Chuck takes the microphone, so I think that he's starting for Chad. I was like, okay. Well, then I realized on through when I see Chuck starts talking, and then I look over and I see my best friend, because Chuck made sure all my friends were there, my closest friends, to share this with me. I look over and she's bawling, and I'm like, okay. First of all, she doesn't even know Chad's woman, and so I know.
Yeah, why is Gloria so emotional?
She's so upset.
She doesn't even know Chad.
So I see that was my next clue. I was like, oh, so she's bawling. So I look back over at Chuck, and then I see it all happening.
And then you realize that this is happening to me.
Then I realized, I was like, oh my gosh. Well, then I started crying. Then I had mascara everywhere, and everybody tried to take pictures of the ring, and there's mascara all over my fingers.
Put that up there, see if we can see.
You see how
it was awesome.
It was at that moment you knew that all your hard work had paid off.
Yeah.
and now I can't quit staring at it. But we're getting married.
But what I think's funny, is
gonna cry again.
Don't start crying again, Michelle.
For the rest of the night, Carol was known as bitch, and I was known as asshole.
Right? It was the best. It was a
Chad, you did great.
It was a great setup. She didn't even see it coming.
Good job, guys.
Yeah, put your hands together. Jim, where's our applause?
Yeah.
This is real applause. Oh, okay.
Anything you can talk about D-Mac from Charleston?
You know what? Just one more thing.
Okay, one more thing.
Rogan Radio family made it great. That's what made it for us.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, that was the whole thing. It's because we are a big, happy family like that.
Yeah, we are a big, happy family, and the support and the love. And I wouldn't have wanted to share it with anybody else.
Yeah.
So thank you, guys.
Good job. Good job, you two.
Now, the only two rules that I had for when Michelle said, when you ever decide to, at your leisure, whenever you decide that you think it's time to propose or whatever, do me two favors. A, let me somewhat be made up a little bit so I don't look like a dirt ball. And B, make sure the cameras are rolling. Just so we can have something to remember
to
by.
show our grandchildren.
Right.
And,
Right, you know.
In case you weren't remembering.
So what better way? Because I'm thinking this.
Thanks, Jimmy.
I'm thinking right off. I am thinking right off. I'm thinking right off the bat. I'm thinking, well, I'm screwed now because if I ever decided to do this, say at the Empire State Building or walking through the woods somewhere, be like, okay, Michelle, you need to put some heels on and a dress and put all your makeup on so we can go on this hike. And I'm just going to carry about 15 cameras on me just because we might see a bear.
Right. Yeah.
So but last night was perfect. It was best case scenario for us to do that, and we and Chad came up with this great plan and nailed it. It was fantastic.
Yeah, we had a great time.
It really was.
So there's an important question. Brian Blaine wants to know when you guys are going to pick up your first puppy together.
I know Brian said that today too.
The dog was there last night.
Casper was there last
Casper
night.
was?
Yes.
He stayed in the room. He didn't make a peep.
No,
Nope.
he licked my hand a couple times.
I did have to pay an extra.
I wish you licked the mascara off my fingers.
I did have to pay an extra $15 to have the dog in there, and you know what?
It's worth it, babe.
And the people next to us were complaining that he was barking too
Sniffing
loud.
up their
I'm like,
crotch.
no, it's like, come on, man. I was like, it's just a dog. $15 extra for that? It's ridiculous.
I do have a good question though.
Okay.
I know, and I'm hoping that I know the answer to this, but would have Plan B, would that have involved Vaughn Haggerty?
Vaughn Haggerty! Vaughn Haggerty was not at the Duggar dance last night at Best Western, and he missed the engagement of Chuck and Michelle. But I can tell you this right now, that guy knows how to rock and roll. It's Vaughn Haggerty. Why, Derek McIntyre was doing the House of Pain, poured it up with the rum shaker. The Pens were playing in Pittsburgh at the Mellon Arena. And Vaughn Haggerty was not there. Vaughn Haggerty.
It was so exciting.
Oh, come on, Jim. Keep going.
I was going to go.
Oh, okay. Oh, is there an echo? Okay.
Even though it was $15 for the whole seat, we only needed the edge.
Edge. It's Vaughn Haggerty.
I love that.
I feel bad for the people that don't have headphones on because they didn't get to hear that excitement.
Todd's over there like this. Normally he'd be right in on that.
Why is he saying it like that? Why is he saying it like that, Jim?
He's like this. He's like this. I can't even hear anything now. He's like, whatever.
Eric's like, these guys are stupid.
Yeah, no.
Okay. So that's it. All
Judy
worked out
said
pretty well.
congratulations. How does she feel about this?
Oh, that's my aunts.
Judy
Judy
Proudfoot?
Proudfoot, yeah.
Judy
They
Proudfoot.
are.
Because
let me move this camera because they're my family from North Carolina and they're ecstatic.
Yeah.
Dad told them today, I think. So
Yeah, it's good stuff.
everybody's happy. We went to, of course, Chuck's parents already knew, but we went to visit them today and my
did
parents
you?
and yeah,
That is
we're
great.
all one big happy family now.
Oh, man.
It's great.
See, now you know what? Now you're not going to be able to leave the Rogan fortune to little Rogan. Now you have to leave it to your wife. He's going to be really pissed.
I never. You know what? So far, now, listen. I can
taken care of.
I can almost see this now. So now all of a sudden the Rogan fortune, instead of going to my nephew, is going to go to Michelle. All of a sudden Erica gets the freaking Mustang.
I know.
You know, that thing hasn't been driven 300 miles in 4 years, and I can see that thing's going to have dents and scratches and 1,500 miles on it in 3 weeks. I can see that now.
I'm responsible.
New clutch after
But you know
a
what?
month.
The
Set
most
no kid
important
over.
part of all this is the love.
Oh. Yeah, baby.
There you go.
Let me tell you something, Michelle. You might not know this, but this has been coming for a long time, 46 years to be with me. And this Pat's going to take it right now. Pat, take it away.
Michelle,
Yes, Pat.
do you know how much Chuck loves you? Chuck loves you more than he could ever tell you.
Listen to that voice.
Yeah, this guy's a pro now. Keep going, Pat.
I can't. I'm getting aroused.
I think maybe he should come in and just stand by the bed when we're sleeping. Chuck and just do all the talking.
I tried that once, but I got a restraining order.
Wow. Okay.
How does that make you feel, Jack?
He's not going to be standing for the next half hour.
It's not that.
Yeah,
it's
I
not
can't
that you're
get
not
up.
good in bed. It's just that I really want to hear his voice.
Exactly. Now, you know what? It's going to be like, Michelle never goes back and listens to the podcast or anything. It's going to be on a loop. Hey, Chuck, can you loop this like 15 seconds of stuff here? Be like, yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do, Michelle. No, we're not. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you for listening tonight. Once again, if you live in Shinson or surrounding areas, be sure to conserve water, and hopefully if if you need anything, once again, you can go down to Chinston Fire Department out to Worthington and find some different places for water. If you need any advice, get hold of D-Mac, or you can just go ahead and leave us a message here at Rogan Radio. We can help you steer you in the right direction. Hope Cassie gets better, and we see Darren next week. Miss Betty Post tonight. Hey, baby.
Hey, what, baby?
Hey, you know what? I think somebody said we're getting married. At some point.
We are getting married.
That's right. It's a little bit more official now.
Hey, somebody wants to know.
2025, come on, baby.
Somebody wants to know if Chuck is moving back to East Shinston Hood.
No, well, you never know. I'm a Lumberport guy, but you never know about the East Shinston. You never know about East Shinston.
Tucko still wants your mower.
Anyway, on behalf of Michelle Hall, Chapuccio, Erica Ferris, D-Mac, we have Bruce Takahashi. We also have Jimmy Wiz straight from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Talk Captain Earl Beck. We have Pat. We have Cuddles Mark Coffee. We have Bartender Mike and Uber Ben. Jesus, this thing's getting way too big. Nah. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to Rogan Radio. Once again, 2 podcasts out tomorrow. Until then, later on. Thanks for listening.
Later.
Bye-bye.
Now let us spend a day throwing stones at one another. Cause I don't think I'm gonna wear my hair, bro, the same way you do. Smoke weed every day. Well, I may be just common people, but I'm your brother. And when you strike out to try to hurt me, it's a hurting you. Lord have mercy, walk a mile in my shoes. Yeah, baby. Just walk a mile in my shoes. Yeah. Well, before you abuse, criticize, and accuse, walk a mile in my shoes. Yeah. Now there are people on the reservations, and they're out in the ghetto. And brother, there, before the grace of God, I go you and I. Now if I only had the wings of a little angel, don't you know I'd fly to the top of a mountain, and then I'd cry, walk a mile in my shoes. Just walk a mile in my shoes, yeah, before you abuse, criticize, and accuse, walk a mile in my shoes, down, just walk a mile in my shoes, yeah, just walk a mile in my shoes, yeah, before you abuse, criticize, and accuse, walk a mile in my shoes. Just walk a mile in my shoes, yeah. Walk a mile in my shoes.
You got a real pretty mouth on me.
Yeah, before you abuse, criticize, and accuse.
What the hell are you doing?
Walk a mile in my shoes. Just walk a mile in my shoes.
But at least I have a big swamp.
Just walk a mile in my shoes.
Dude, listen.
Yeah, before you abuse, criticize, and accuse, walk a mile in my shoes. One more time, baby. Just walk a mile in my shoes.
I like grape.
Just walk a mile in my shoes.
I like grape. Jesus rocks.
Yeah, before you abuse, criticize, and accuse, walk a mile in my shoes. Well,